Hey everybody, it's Amy with another random thought today, and yeah, my hair is back to its crazy color again, so there you have that. I did record a podcast this morning about the importance of knowing your neighbor, knowing who your community is around you, and some ways that the internet makes that difficult, and how the internet has changed the way that we build community and the way that we meet people. And normally I upload my podcast, the audio from my podcast, I upload that to YouTube and Odyssey, and I can't do that right now because my video editor has updated and done a bunch of crazy stuff, and I don't know anything about technology, and my live-in tech is unavailable to help me at this time to figure out what's going on with that. So no podcast uploading until we get that whole hubbub figured out. But I did want to come here and give a little bit of some notes, I guess, from that recording. Today I did talk about just that honest question of, do you know your neighbors? Do you know the people who live around you? Do you know the people in your area? Or are you the kind of person, or like many of us are, we fall into that trap of, we drive by people, we drive by these houses, we've been living in the same area for years, and we're just driving by these people, and we might wave, but we don't know who they are. We've never actually met them. I was invited to be part of a little group this past weekend, and it was really cool. Just a really great group of people who live very, very local, kind of within maybe a 3 to 5 mile radius of each other. And we got together and we just talked about some great things, and I had a really great time connecting and meeting each other. But the thing that I noticed is that all these people, we've all lived in the same area for years. I've lived at my farm for 10 years. We've all lived in the same area for years, and we've never met each other. Like, how crazy is that we have all these people around us, and we're like living in our own little, shells, going on the internet, doing all these things and building community there and talking to people there like it's no problem at all, but we can't meet the people who are right around us. And I know this isn't everybody. I know some of you are really, really, you know your neighbors, you've met them. You might not like them. Meeting your neighbors and knowing who they are doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be best friends. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a good experience. But you need to know if your neighbors are those kind of people where you can go borrow a cup of sugar or say, hey, my car won't start, can you come help me? Or if they're the neighbors that you need to stay clear of, or they're the neighbors that really shouldn't know if you're going to be gone for the week. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to know that unless you go meet your neighbors. So if you want to go check out the podcast, you'll have to actually listen to the podcast. I will put a link in the show notes, show notes. See, I think I'm doing the podcast right now. In the description below, I will put a link to the podcast. You can either listen to it on my site, or you can go to your favorite podcast player app and you can find the Farmish Kind of Life podcast. It's episode 170, I believe. I think I titled it Know Your Neighbors. So if you want to check that out, that'd be great. That's kind of my random thought / podcast notes for you until I get this whole video editor thing figured out. All right. Have a great day.